I'm in the Bronx. I'm going to be doing this feature on the NYPD's mounted unit, the horse, the police that ride the horses, and so that's at noon. So right now, I'm able to talk to you because I have, I see on these little windows of time that I get. It's amazing how many windows of time one has during the day that they can do things. And I've really, really come to embrace that. I don't waste much time. I really, really don't. I multitask a lot, and it's rare that I ever do anything leisurely. I spend hardly any time doing any being involved in leisure. So, and if I am involved in leisure, usually there's some constructive aspect to it involving like let's say my kids, or there's something that benefits somebody outside of just simply reclining.
It's wonderful because you're reminding me the Rebbe, the Lubavitch Rebbe, often spoke about success in time, and he
Mhm.
always brought the example of the Rashba, one of the great classical commentators, who was, as you said, multitasking. He was a yeshiva dean in the yeshiva. He wrote questions and answers to people around the world. He was a doctor. He had all kinds of students, and yet he was able to find a half an hour a day to take a walk. And the question was, what was the worth of that? And how did he do that? And the answer was that whatever he was doing with full force. When he was a doctor, he was a doctor. When he was teaching, he was teaching. That's the successful time. And you said it so beautifully that if you use your time with quality, you have plenty of time, right? What do they say? If you want something done, you give it to a busy person,
Mhm.
right? And you have that ability. Now,
If I might add, you mentioned the Rebbe. I think before you mentioned the Rashba, you mentioned the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, right?
yes,
And
yes,
he was on my he lives up here as well. I mean, he was watching me during the writing of this, and in my imagination, the his because I'm very familiar with his attitudes about time. And I mean, talk about somebody who didn't waste a second of his life. I mean, if he lost 2 minutes, it was something that he would get upset about. Like, I can't get those 2 minutes back. And
correct.
so he was very like he's actually a big, big, huge. I mean, of my many takeaways from the Rebbe, that might be my number one in terms of emulation. I think that might be the most the influential aspect of the Rebbe on me.
Rabbi Evan Steinsaltz, the famous Rabbi Steinsaltz, he came to the Rebbe and he had two or three projects he was working on. And he asked the Rebbe, which one should he give up? Because it's taken so much time. The Rebbe said, take on a fourth project. You'll be able to keep on going.